Finals day here, 2022, and it's come down to this. Ignatius Park College up against St. Patrick's College from Mackay. The final 60 minutes, 30-minute halves. There are stoppages for this game. And we are in for an absolute ding-dong game. Ignatius Park have been the form college of the competition up until yesterday when Brothers St. Brendan's really put it to them. And as for St. Pat's, well, they're the obviously sentimental favourite. My name is John Devine, and it's a thrill to call this grand final with you, Michael Crutcher. It doesn't get any better. Where are they going to put everybody?
There's no spare seats, John. It is packed here on the grandstand sides. Some room on the hill on the far side, but this is the moment we've waited for, not just this week. This is the first Confraternity Carnival final for the Confraternity Shield since 2019. Of course, we lost the 2020 Carnival to COVID. We didn't make it to finals last year, so we've made it to the Shield final, and you couldn't ask for a better game here. Ignatius Park College, they've won 5 of the last 9 Confraternity Shields. They have been the modern powerhouse in this competition. St. Pat's Mackay, one of the real strengths early on. This has been going since 1980, the Confraternity Shield. So much history. St. Pat's Mackay won in 1988 for 5 consecutive years. In the last of those years, their player of the carnival was Wendell Saylor. So the history of this school with Confro is big. They won in 2000 with Grant Ravelli, former NRL player, as the player of the carnival. They won 3 out of 4 years there. They haven't won and haven't made a final since 2003. So 19 years since St. Pat's Mackay made it. They've waited for this one. It's their hometown final, and you couldn't have a better atmosphere here.
We are underway here. Ignatius Park will kick off. This is the Shield final, Confraternity 2022. 167 games have been completed. This is game 168, and we're in for a thriller. It's absolutely jam-packed here at BB Prince Stadium as we wait for the first mistake. Completed set is what St. Pat's we wanted. They are the home college. There was a big crowd here on Monday night. There's a bigger crowd here on Friday afternoon. It doesn't get any better. So they work down the left-hand side. Here goes St. Pat's, looking to complete the first set straight away here in the final. Halfway line's 5 metres away. Hush over the crowd here as they wait for the last tackle to come. That's still 2 tackles away. Here he goes now is Matthew Watts, and Watts is going to be carved up there by Shibasaki. Halfway line now, it's the last, says the referee. And the referee for this game is Harrison Lee. Congratulations to him to be awarded the final here as they run it back through Tikimeni.
Yeah, and a big home crowd, as we said, and for St. Pat's Mackay, they've gone into camp this week, John, so even though they've had their own beds here, they've still decided to stay together as a group and go into camp. For Iggy Park, not so much a big deal for them to be in Mackay. They play here all the time. They jump in the bus, they come down here. They've got the trip to Mackay down very well. They were here 2 weeks ago to play an Aaron Payne Cup game, so it won't be too unfamiliar for them.
And the not unfamiliar is the size of this forward pack from Ignatius Park, and here comes another ball carrier. Throws himself there. There's Carish, the number 9 here to try and stop the ball carrier. And the big fella will get up there, and Stanley to the right. They go kicking early in the tackle count. That's a high midfield bomb. It's coming through. People are coming through, allowed to bounce. It's going to be grabbed in the end there by Levy Love. I don't know whether it was touched. It was touched, unfortunately, by a St. Pat's player, and he's in an offside position. Do they take too early?
So if you want to know the skill level of what's happening out here at the moment, we've got maybe about at least a dozen players who have deals with NRL clubs in some sort of way. And the Iggy Park guys you mentioned, one of them's 115 kilos and very, very quick. The other 120. These are big boys, and they can move.
So they don't take the 2. They're going to back themselves. Slick play out the back. Slick play, all right. The halfback goes through Matthew Hunter. Matthew Hunter's going to be pulled down there by Henry Thorpe. 2 Thorpes out there. Henry, one of the tacklers. Here they come through 4 running. Big ball carry goes through, and referee's going to say held up.
Great
the
defense.
Crowd's pretty happy.
Great defence, St. Pat's Mackay. That's one of the players we're talking about there, Henry Tiatau, 115 kilos and fast. You see him when he hits full speed, he is difficult to stop. They did very well. Here we go to the right-hand side now, a step 2. So they're going to pepper this line. Let's see what Iggy Park can do and what St. Pat's Mackay's defence is like.
Yeah, they're going to have to go low and hard to stop the ball carrier. There's a couple of players Look, gets the offload, still alive. They've got numbers in the corner trying to get through there. It's Danian. Danian is denied by 5 metres, 5 in from the far side. Kick from Mitchell Brown. It's been dived on there by Henry Thorpe. Crowd seem to be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, good start from both teams so far. We've had some completed sets and some defence that stood the test of time. So Ignatius Park got to this final with a very tight 12-6 win over St Brendan's yesterday on field 2. John, you called the St Pat's Mackay win over the Cathedral College here on field 1. So they earned their way in, both of these teams. They haven't played since last year when Iggy Park won an Aaron Payne Cup game on field 2 at this complex when they last played St Pat's Mackay.
And to say that Iggy Park decided to take a penalty shows how much they were tested by Brother St Brendan's. St Brendan's. This goes end over end. The Breeze will hold that up here. He has to bring it back here. There's Razalin. And the Chasers is good. Here it comes with Matthew Watts. And Matthew Watts, she's been strong for St Pat's All Carnival, the big number 10.
He has been very good, and you get the feel he'll be very important to St Pat's Mackay in this match. They've got a good right edge as well, St Pat's Mackay, that's helped them out a lot so far in this carnival. So we've got the scene set for what should be a really good grand final. 30 minutes time off for injury, so 30-minute halves, and the clock will be stopped.
Dummy half is Jack Wood wearing the number 9.
There's one of the NRL contracted players we speak about, Jamal Shibasaki, who's with the Broncos. His brother Gemmet played for the Broncos several years earlier.
Last play, midfield bomb. Allowed to bounce, needs to get it. Still the last. Rolls it back here. It's going to be a changeover. And a penalty inside the 10 on the kick. Gets a call from the touch judge. There's Harrison Lear. He's the referee in the middle.
Yeah, plenty of good activity in this game already. Is this a kick? Will make touch? Will it? No, it won't. A miscue.
That's the first time I haven't had in the casual game as well.
That's a miscue with the Breeze behind the shoulder almost as well. So Iggy Park, they like broken play. They're an entertaining team to watch, as we see now.
Tiki Meaney releases his footing, looks for support players, can't find one. Eli Joe is at dummy half. They're holding on in the ruck here. Play on, says the referee. It's Henry Tiatower. 8 out from the try line. St Pat's have to hang on here. 0-0 so far. Confraternity Shield. Jamie Stanley is denied and he loses the footy, St Pat's.
I think a forward pass the referee called there, but you can see this already here. Ignatius Park happy just to go through that middle at the moment. They've got big bodies there, and when you're playing a 60-minute game with time off, those big bodies over time can take a toll. But St Pat's Mackay up to the challenge so far. They've got a few guys who came back from last year's Confro, St Pat's Mackay. 7 players in all went to Iona College, and St Pat's Mackay were unbeaten through their 3 pool games before COVID forced an early end of the tournament. They jumped on the bus at 2 p.m. Tuesday afternoon from Iona, and they drove all the way through the night, arrived here at 6:30 a.m. on the Wednesday morning. So the memories of that trip for the 7 guys who were with St Pat's Mackay last year, they had a good team, they thought they could go a long way. They've waited for this, so it's been 12 months.
I love the ball carrier. A little bit of indecision from the Xavier Carriage which way he would go, and that allowed Ignatius Park to creep up. As I mentioned, the referees Harrison Lear, Tory Wilkie and Thomas Horn are your touch judge officials. Halfway line's been crossed underneath the tackle of Jack Wood. Still a couple of tackles to go here. The lock forward goes to run at Henry Thorpe. They're running out wide, and probably an ideal way to take on Ignatius Park, those edges. Now it's the last tackle, says Lear. Kick, Purdue, high ball. Are the Chasers coming through? Takes it. Well, he jumped in the air probably without any heat on him. He's going to run it out here. Not sure if that's Elijah Joe, but he'll play it on the 20.
Yeah, so we've got the game here with some early tactics being seen. That's a good hit again, that right edge of St Pat's Mackay.
That might have been Levi. I love it. How about that?
Yeah, there's a
Actually,
few...
the centre 3/4 and Bo Jones. There you go. Kicking early in the tackle count, looking for a 40-20, and gets it. The first 40-20 of confraternity, and that will give Ignatius Park 10 metres out from the try line.
They're a good team to watch, Ignatius Park, because they aren't afraid to do things a bit differently. They shift the ball very well. Those big men have good hands. They're not afraid to throw short passes, and they do things like that 40-20, which will really keep St. Pat's Mackay on edge here.
0-0 still. 9 minutes gone. So there's one tackle. Jack Wood at dummy half. Goes behind. Referee says knocked back. Crowd says otherwise. Jamal Shibasaki. Matthew Hunter cops his shot in defence from the St. Pat's defence. Coming off the line. That's good work there from Henry Thorpe. Cutting down the play here. He hit him just as he got the football there, Henry Teotau. Go to the right-hand side. That's an obstruction. He'll have to take that penalty or go back the other way, and he does so. 10 out from the try line still. Ignatius Park probably just being a little bit impatient with what they want to do here with the footy. Gets the offload. Grubber kick into the in-goal area. Has been grabbed and it's been touched by the Saints Pats player, and that will be a line dropout. So a good end of that set of 6, although it was the middle of the tackle count there from Ignatius Park, Michael Crutcher. Yeah, again, not afraid to do things differently. The coaches, both very good schoolboy rugby league coaches. They've done this for a while. Steve Lansley with Ignatius Park. He won with his team in 2019 in Bundaberg. And Michael Comerford with St. Pat's Mackay, an assistant coach with the Mackay Cutters. Both very good coaches. I don't know whether it was an intentional short dropout, but anyway, 22 metres now from the try line. Hunter. Goes himself, Hunter. Gets the offload. Try, Jack Pryor. And Jack Pryor come up with the first points to the final. It's taken 10 minutes.
Yeah, and bring it back to that 40-20 kick. That's what set up this attacking set for Ignatius Park College. They weren't afraid to do it. They got down there, managed to get a reset, and they get the break down the left-hand side, the show and go, and there's a runner coming through. We've mentioned, John, about carnival footy. We've said it a few times. This is game number 6 for both teams since Monday. So this is not weekly footy. When they last played, these two teams, they played in the Aaron Payne Cup last year. They were playing every week or every second week. Very different to playing game number 6 in the space of only a few days. So the bodies are a bit battered and bruised. They have a situation where they're going to have to dig so deep. They're going to have to push up for each other. They're going to have to chase the kicks. And that's going to be a big workload for both teams. So that we often see the Confraternity Shield decided like that, because it's not always just purely the best team. It's the team that can weather carnival football and do it well.
One thing I've noticed about Ignatius Park, the forwards have been denied. It's actually been the backs who are causing the havoc here for St. Pat's. We talk about this player out here in Brookton Inn. He's been handed. Jack Pryor scores a try there. Rosalam Pearson. So there's certainly some wheels out wide, and they're doing the old rope-a-dope. They've actually decided to go, or southpaw I should say. They've gone to their backs, and obviously that 40-20 certainly helped, but and that's I don't know whether that's a game plan, but because St. Pat's defence has been pretty solid in the middle of the park, roll up the middle of Ignatius Park, I think St. Pat's shouldn't be too concerned with the scoreline at the moment. Have a look at this. Throws an underball. They were waiting for the forward. It just goes himself, gets the offload there, got an arm free, and Ben Tune dive into the corner. Short kick off. Heat coming through. Takes it nicely and taken in the air. Penalty. So, look, now they're going to get great field position here, won't they, Ignatius Park?
Yeah, they'll come back down here. And one of the dangers that Ignatius Park present, it's not just the size of that middle that they have, it's also the pace of those outside backs. Teki Meni has scored some very good tries already. Rosalan Pearson scored the match winner yesterday against St. Brendan's with a nice hit there.
St. Pat's forward pack have come to play. They know what they're up against, and they've thrown their bodies at the line here. Here comes the lock forward in Shibasaki, and they've pulled him down the opposite 13 in Henry Thorpe. They're up for the challenge here from this Goliath-like forward pack coming from Ignatius Park.
How good is schoolboy footy? Here we go. They're not playing rep footy. They're playing for school and for their mates as Henry Teotau barges forward. But that's why Confro is so special. This is not the rep team. This is a school team, and here comes a penalty. And there's a reunion this week of the St. Pat's Mackay old boys talking about the memories that they have from playing here 20 odd years ago. They've gone their separate ways with work because we're going to take 2 points here, Ignatius Park, which is what they did yesterday when they played St. Brendan's, took a 2-point penalty goal to move out to 8-0. So a bit of a reflection on what happened then, but these players, they had the old boys on the field for St. Pat's Mackay after they won yesterday. Those old boys had a reunion last night, but they were able to come on the field after the semi-final win and just talk about the memories that are being created here now. And Matthew Paul, who is a staff member here at Mackay, he was a member of the merit team when the last Confro happened in Mackay. 1996, we haven't been here for 26 years, it's been that long. He told the St. Pat's Mackay players that these things don't come round often, just enjoy the week because it's a special week you'll take with you for a long time regardless of what happens.
So this penalty kick coming from Brodie Deneen. Gets it, 8-0. 16 minutes to go, still first half, 30-minute halves, remember, so still got 45 minutes of rugby league coming your way, ladies and gentlemen. It's nobody's game yet.
Interesting thing about the Ignatius Park team, there's only 2 players back from last year who played in Confro 2021. So they are Jamal Shibasaki and Jermaine Stanley. They've relied on their grade 12s in the last couple of years, whereas St. Pat's Mackay have brought some younger players through last year. Also got a bunch of year 10s from last year who won the Cowboys Challenge. The Ignatius Park team that's grade 12s now, all but 3 of them were in the, is this short ball again? All but 3 of the Ignatius Park players out here now. They played in the Cowboys Challenge win 2 years ago. So they developed combinations for many years, these players.
Oh, Jones puts his shot on, they come up with an error, and Ignatius Park, and I don't know whether you can hear through, well, there's a sideline mic as well, so fair idea there's a strong influence in the crowd here coming from the locals here in Mackay. Scrum feed, 29 metres out from the try line. We saw a push against the scrum in the earlier game between Shalom and Padua. Not the case here, as Will Shears. 22 out now. Desi Jones drives with the legs as Desi Jones. He gets within 10. That's a good carry there from Desi Jones. St. Pat's, they're looking slick. Ball out the back. It's with Kai Simon. And Kai Simon is no stranger to the try line. He's hip tossed over the line. The 10-metre line, that is. Purdue. Set play here. They go out the back. It's with Thorpe. Thorpe gives it off now here to Valor. And Valor looking for a quick play ball. It is a quick play ball. They go to the blind side. I don't know whether the markers will square there. Play on, says the referee. There's the penalty. The markers weren't.
Yes, a good early pressure on this attacking set from St. Pat's Mackay.
It was smart play by Karish. Actually, he knew the marker defence was offside there. He ran towards them, hoping for 4 points. The referee in hand, Harrison Lear, waited and then gave the penalty. Now a darting run here, Hudson Galletti. It's a hush all over the world. It was Henry Thorpe. 5 out from the try line. Can you believe it? This many people, and it's dead silent. To the left they go. Goes back into the field of play. Here goes Purdue, and Purdue's going to be denied. He scored a try yesterday. Can he do it again? Short ball, trying to get across the line here is Desi Jones, and Desi Jones has to walk into a blue and white wall. Still only a metre out from the try line. St. Pat, dart from dummy half. Can he get across there? He can't. Karish. Oh, the crowd, big sigh. Options, last tackle now. What do? They've got numbers. Get it through the hands. Can they do it? Oh, backline play. Going back into the field of play. The winger there on Bailey Anderson. That'll be a changeover. But that's 99 metres to the other end. What an exciting set of 6 there, Michael Crutcher.
A great set of 6. You said the blue and white wall, John, and that's what it's been this week here at Confro. This is their 6th game, Ignatius Park. They have conceded 2 tries all week, and one of those came yesterday to St. Brendan's fullback Matthew Hill, the Melbourne Storm contracted fullback who put on a magic act to score. So St. Pat's Mackay will have to earn their tries because the defensive line for Iggy Park has held very solid all week.
They're in a bit of a bunch here too, Ignatius Park, and dare I say it, St. Pat's jabbing at the moment here with they're putting into their tackles. Starting to wear them down. That's a good carry there from Ignatius Park. Blindside they go. Kicking early. Not sure whether that kick chases onside. The referee's called him out. That's going to be dead. That's a big kick. That's quite a mile. So that'll be 20-metre restart with 7 tackles.
Yeah, sweetly timed kick. It just was too well timed.
Yeah.
Just kept on rolling. So a chance for St. Pat's Mackay to bring it out. But we're seeing already Ignatius Park happy to try to turn them around with kicks at the moment and force them to bring the ball out from their own territory, although that kick is too heavy.
Blindside, back row, and Bray Tate. Good carry, Bray Tate. Bray Tate gets over the halfway line. That's a good carry. Jeez, I'll tell you what, these forwards from St. Pat's, they are fearless both in attack and in defence. Henry Thorpe. Numbers to the left, centre of BB Prince Stadium. Here in Mackay, Confraternity 2022, and comes up with an error. See, the hit was that big there, but it's just hit the ball carrier in the right spot for the ball to come loose. So now it's with Xavier Park, 12 metres short of halfway. A skipping run here from Elijah Joe, the fullback. Looking for a quick play the ball. Matthew Hunter finds the winger here in Tiki Meni. Again, quick play the ball. St. Pat's need to slow this ruck down, Michael Crusher, because they're doing what they want here as Ignatius Park.
And the danger with the quick play the balls for Ignatius Park too is their big men like to shift the ball as well. They're not afraid to pass. Short passes, quick passes, and if they do get a roll on, they can get down the field pretty quickly.
Kaisimon with the tackle there. Across the front. Finally finds Jack Petit. Now it's the last tackle here for Ignatius Park. Putting a kick up now, everybody's on side. It's going to be a tester here for Bailey Anderson, and Anderson takes it, and Anderson tries to get away from the chaser there in Razaline. Razaline will affect that on the 10. Marker defence comes across here. They're still on the 10-metre line. We need some of those more nimble-footed backs to run from dummy half. Bo Jones will get up and on the 20. Now they get across the 20, almost to the 30. Tackle is Jacobson Rhodes. Slow to get to his feet. Grabs the back of his head there, this Kaisimon. Seems to be a little bit groggy, but it's play on. There's a one-on-one strip here from Ignatius Park. Clapping of the hands. Jack Petit wants the footy. He gets it. The tackle right at the top there is Kane Smith. Levy. It's the 20-metre line. It's a penalty, a high shot. Hits him in the chin. And they'll kick for touch or just take a tap. Elijah Joe looks at what they want to do and said they throw Leedy at the line. 5 short. 8-0, 1 try. Penalty kick gives you an 8-0 scoreline. Goes backwards here now. Matthew Hunter has to pick it up. Picks it up on the 20. Almost snuck through there. It's the 10-metre line has been made. Rhodes. Mitchell Brown. He's close. Elijah Joe tries to tunnel his way through. The referee started walking backwards. I thought he might have awarded the try. Now the big number 10 has a crack in Stanley, and Stanley is going to cross the line, and Stanley scores for Ignatius Park, the big number 10.
Yeah, we mentioned before the big bodies. I was looking at the bench, and the number 8, Henry Tiatau, has been able to have a rest the last few minutes, but there's still the big body number 10 gets the ball, puts their head down, and that's a try planted on the line. And that's what Ignatius Park can do to you, John. They've got those big bodies, they've got the speed out wide, but when you've got the likes of Henry Tiatau at 115 kilos sitting on the sideline waiting to come back on, and you can still go to big bodies out there, that's the test over the 60 minutes of play here for St. Pat's Mackay, and you can see already from those tactics from the Ignatius Park team, they're not afraid to kick early and turn the St. Pat's Mackay team around and make them bring it out of their own set, and they didn't do such a good job last time. The first 3 tackles went about 10 metres, and all of a sudden Ignatius Park had the upper hand in that set. So just keep an eye out to see whether they will try to continue to kick early or kick to corners, and see if that doesn't give them an advantage, making St. Pat's Mackay really do the hard yards to bring it out against this pack. Now, unlimited interchanges in this game, of course, so we've got a a decent-sized bench for both teams. Michael Comerford, the St. Pat's Mackay coach, has said before how his team is really 1 to 21. He's got 21 players. He'll back them the whole way. The talent level is really consistent across those players. Steve Lansley's got 21 players available to him as well at Ignatius Park. So that's also part of trying to get your team through these 6 games in such a short space of time, as the conversion is successful for a 14-0 lead. When you can try to rotate guys, and watch the replay again here for Ignatius Park.
I should have read it. He was ready to go.
Well, the play before, you could see him lining up to try to get there. Took an extra play, but he got there. And here's a challenge now for St. Pat's Mackay. As we said, the Ignatius Park defence has conceded 2 tries all week. Now, St. Pat's Mackay finds himself down by 14 with 6 minutes to play. But Confro is full, John, of stories you don't expect. And here we see.
Here we go. Here's with Bowen's, and that try comes also back of that one-on-one strip as well, Michael Crutcher. That's gave the possession and good field position for Ignatius Park to conjure up that try. The ball goes back. Play on, says the referee. Away goes Harry Thorpe, and Harry Thorpe tries to go sideways. Easy pickings there for Leedy. And he gets rolled over, somersault style. So St. Pat's, can they get 6 points on before half-time? We've still got 5 minutes to go, 30-minute halves. As mentioned by Michael Crutcher. It's all come down to this with Purdue. Matthew Watts has been strong all carnival. Matthew Watts, the number 10, 8 short of the try line. They got 5 players to the blind side here at St. Pat's. You can't see it on screen. It's a slow play ball. They come this way. Is there a set play? Going off the right foot, trying to get through his Braid Tate. He'll take that tackle. They go to the left-hand side. They're trying to draw the Ignatius Park defence to the one side of the field here. They're starting to spread it. Catch and pass. Goes back the other way here. Not sure if that was the play, and cut down on the 10-metre line. Now's the last tackle here for St. Pat's. What can they do? Oh, it was a hint of a knock-on. Play on. Kick into the in-goal area. Has to be tidied up, and it will be done by Tiki Meaney. And that's 99 metres to the other end here. 5 minutes remaining first half, Michael.
Yeah, good set there from, here we go, a bust.
Denian, goal kicker. Sorry, mate.
They try to go down that right edge again. You can see they've got real strength, St. Pat's Mackay, in that right edge of theirs. But we also saw Ignatius Park up to the challenge. Just another big hit here. There's some really good football being played here at the moment.
Henry Thorpe. Holy smokes, right under the bread basket. All legal.
Nothing wrong with
it.
it.
9 times out of 10, those tackles don't actually hurt because you hit it in the soft part. And it's, anyway, Ignatius Park now full running. That's a good carry there from Hannaway there, but the tackle is just as good there coming from the back lock and Braid Tate. They go to the blind side. It wasn't the last tackle. Everybody's back here. It's going to be Bailey Anderson in support with Will Shears, who takes that kick. And Shears will run it back 18 metres out from the try line. So the bomb's diffused, and that's not easy to do here with this breeze here. And here's a knock on.
Not square at marker.
Penalty.
Yeah, not square at marker there. So
I thought the crowd was cut.
These teams will play again in a few weeks' time in the Aaron Payne Cup, John. So the Aaron Payne Cup is a competition played among schools from Mackay North up even to far north Queensland. So there's often a debate about, well, what do you want to win more? Do you want to win the Aaron Payne Cup or do you want to win Confro? You ask Iggy Park, they have no doubt whatsoever that this is the goal, to win Confro. Look at the size of this crowd. I'll guarantee you that the Aaron Payne Cup will not have a crowd that's like this.
There's 5,000 people here. I'll check if there's a penalty for a crusher or hit to the back of the head. 1 or 2 here, so that'll be a penalty. I'll check with Scott McSherry to get some idea of the crowd here. But in the meantime, this place will absolutely lift off its stumps if they were to score before half-time here, St. Pat's. They've got 3 minutes to try and conjure something against, as we said, that blue and white wall. It's been broken once, not yet. 14-0. They need these 6 points before half-time. Levi Love, not the biggest number 8. Sweeping play. Again, they try and use Kane Smith. The defence is too strong in the middle of the park here. Shifting the play. Goes himself now to Henry Thorpe, and Henry Thorpe gets absolutely chopped down. He'll get up. Good quick play the ball here from Thorpe, even though he just got hit by a train. They go to this blind side. defence from Ignatius Park is good, and that's Mitchell Brown along with Brodie Deneen. We put the tackle on Kai Simon. Grubber kick. They need something to hit the upright or something, a little bit of luck to come their way, St. Pat's, but they diffused it as they roll it out. Now here go Ignatius Park.
Yeah, they diffuse it again, and I just had a bit of a flashback to the 2019 final in Bundaberg, John, the last time we had a Shield final when Ignatius Park College beat the Cathedral College 34-0. I'm pretty sure that whole week Ignatius Park gave up 2 tries. That's what they've given up this week. Now, they do play an enterprising brand of football. They're good to watch Iggy Park when they get their short passes going, but they pride themselves in their defence. So that'll be the challenge, as we said, for St. Pat's Mackay to see how they can break what's been the best wall of defence at Confro all week.
Well, you would have to say in 2 carnivals.
It has been 2 carnivals with obviously different players. None of these players were around in 2019 as we see the replay of the last try. So you can, we know that you've got to score points to win games, but you've got to keep them out as well. And that's what Ignatius Park seem to do quite well. They are able to defend that line. So as this time goes on, we've got a confirmation of 5,000 as a crowd right now. So we've got a confirmation the crowd's 5,000. I don't know what our viewer numbers are like on the live stream right now, but that's the feeling that Confro has. And we see the numbers of ex-Confro players who are back here with the 48 boys team coaching here. We mentioned before Scott Maguire from Padua, who was running water there for Padua, the head of sport at the school. When Confro was first played in Mackay in 1987, he was in the merit team. So, you know, some of these guys have been to 20-odd plus more confraternity carnivals. It just keeps bringing them back because it's such a memorable week for them. So if Ignatius Park, they've been spoken to by their ex-players who have played it, the likes of Michael Morgan, Valentine Holmes, these players who have played Confro. Michael Morgan said to the players before the 2019 tournament, he had dinner with them and he said, I've won an NRL premiership, I've won State of Origin matches, but you know what? It's really hard for me to compare them to Confro because this was me and my mates, the boys who went to school with. We did it together and it's something that I cherish up there with those. I have them up there.
Crazy.
That's how much the week means to me.
Matthew Watts comes to the sideline and he's okay. He walked from the field. He's going to check him out. And that kick's going to go end over end. It's potential 40-20 again, but it's going to be run back in the field of play. We've only got a minute to go on the clock. I'm pretty sure it would have stopped.
The clock did stop for that time.
Cool.
So we stopped at a minute 21. So just a chance here for St. Pat's Mackay with 1 minute left to see what they can do. They don't want to see Matthew Watts off that field for long.
Marker defence not square. Oh, knock on.
We see a knock on. So again, there's no 30-second stop the clock here. But Matthew Watts, they'll want to see him back out there. He's been excellent this week. He's a key player for St. Pat's Mackay. Matthew Watts is one of the Cowboys linked players in this team, so he's just got his head down at the moment, so we hope that we see him back out there because in that front row with Xavier Kerisk as well, who we know how important he is, as we have 20-odd seconds left on the clock here, 22 seconds on the official clock.
Well, the clock's going to wind down here. The last thing St. Pat's want is another meat pie against them. And in saying that, oh, he's a good carry. He come from Henry Tiatow. Henry Tiatow, that's a 10-metre line. This will be the last play. What will they do? Suggesting a cross-field kick, a grubber kick into the end goal, and it's going to be diffused there. Good work there from Harry Thorpe. That gives you a half-time, 14 points to nil. Tries in the first half there. Jamie Stanley and Jack Pryor, both of them converted in the one penalty kick as well to Brodie Deneen, and that gives you a 14-0 half-time score. Well, it's all to do here for St. Pat's, Michael Crutcher.
It is a big challenge for them in the second half to ride the energy of this crowd. It's such a good crowd. They want to see their team win here. It's a big job against this Iggy Park team, which is relentless, but Confro, over 42 consecutive separate Confros, has produced memories that defy description. So we know that there is still a chance for St. Pat's to come back. Something's
going to happen in this second half. We'll bring this second half to you straight after a word from some of our great sponsors here. And we'll be back with the second half here at Confraternity 2022.
For me, it's an opportunity to learn without restrictions.
It's the coach I need to always improve my game.
It's being a brother to another.
It's the chance to perform at my highest potential.
It's understanding the importance of our historical community.
So what can St Edmunds do for you?
We are
Men of faith.
men of learning.
Men of humility.
We are
Men of action.
we are
We are
we are
We are St Patrick's College, Shorncliffe.
Buzz when it goes off. 10-minute half time.
We see you, working hard, juggling, dreaming, climbing. We see your ambition, your dedication. We see you gaining confidence in our spaces and on our screens. Yeah, we see you doing more and going further. With CQ University Australia, it's time to be what you want to be.
Since 1975, Strutties has been getting the footy player ready for the game. Today, Strutties is evolving.
It's a new era.
It's a takeover. To athletes of all sports.
no matter what you play.
Basketball.
Rugby union.
Soccer.
Netball. Rugby league. AFL.
Cricket. Touch football.
Strutties has you covered. Gear developed by the player.
For the player.
What's up everyone, my name's Alex Glenn, former Brisbane Broncos captain. I played in the NRL for the last 13 years. Yep, so this is the HCG Tipper. I wish I had this earlier in my career because it would have prolonged my career, I reckon, for another couple more years. But I jumped on there, man, and started doing it every single day, and I never felt any stronger.
I'm at the top of the pyramid, bitch, I'm a star serious. We gonna play serious. Came with the gang, I'm married.
Families need to be engaged in their children's education because it is what makes a difference to their learning. 60 to 80% of the success a child has at school is what happens at home. Parent leaders in schools are crucial. This is something we can all do to improve learning because it's about every parent and every child.
Here on Durumble country, in the wings of St. Joseph's Cathedral, our college stands as a place of teaching and learning.
Second half about to get underway here. The last 30 minutes of Confraternity 2022. Michael Crutcher, John Devine, bringing you all the action. And quickly, thank you to all the co-commentators, and especially you, Michael, for giving your time up here. I know you've got a lot of other chores to do here, but what a pleasure it's been. It's come down to this 14-0. They need to score first to St. Pat's. They have the crowd behind them. They go for a short kick-off here. The bounce is not favourable for St. Pat's. It is, though, for Brody Denian, and that's a 30-metre start.
Yeah, they'll keep trying on those kicks. They've had some success so far, St. Pat's Mackay, to get the ball back with the restart, but they'll have to get Iggy Park out of their comfort zone here. They lead 14-0. They'll have to try to get them thinking as we see Jamal Shibasaki take that ball over the halfway line and get pushed back to good defence from St. Pat's Mackay. So it'll be all hands on deck here. The last 30 minutes of a carnival we've waited 3 years for, and there'll be some tired boys out there, but some guys playing for each other.
Shibasaki again with a second carry in the set of 6. Now to the last tackle. Slow play the ball here. Puts a kick up, does Matthew Hunter. Chases come through. Still alive. Hunter has an opportunity to pick it up here. And it's going to be dived on the far side there by St. Pat's. That might be Bailey Anderson. And just quickly before we get into it, big thanks also to Struddy's CQ University for their sponsorship. Red Corner doing an awesome job here, building all 6 rounds. 168 games they filmed, recorded, logged. Get on there and watch it again here. So a lot of stuff happened around the grounds here. The referees, 28 of them, I think you said, Michael Crutcher, the committee, Mackay staff here, the ground staff here. Well done to everybody, and it's culminated in this absolutely jam-packed BB Prince Stadium of 5,000 people. Do you mind, ladies and gentlemen, how good?
It's a massive exercise, and it's been done so well to get to this time of the week. It's been a great week. Everything has worked very well so far. And of course, we've seen great football from the girls reaching their first ever confraternity final, won by Marymount College at Burleigh Waters. And now here we go with the 42nd Boys Shield final.
30-metre scrum set. They've got a big back line here. Nobody on the blind side here for Ignatius Park. So here you go. What's the set play? A dart from dummy. Half away goes, Matthew Hunter. Gets the first ball receiver. Doesn't use that back line move, but they kept St. Patrick's in 2 minds here. Wobbly old passes. And Tiki Mini will pick it up. Still going Tiki Mini. He's the nimble customer. Gets across the 10-metre line. 10 out from the try line. St. Pat's are scrambling. Slow play the ball. They go to the left. The lock forward goes for a charge now. Shibasaki. 2 out. Numbers to the left. Oh, head of a knock on at the back here. Goes back into the field of play. He gets shut down. There's Matthew Hunter. He'll get up eventually. Referee's going to say, go back and play it. Matthew Hunter. Try scorer Stanley. Gives it now to Shibasaki with a second carry. Now look out. Henry Tiatau. No, it goes behind him. I thought they were going to use the same play they did with Stanley. Here's a chance to go over and score a try, and they do score a try. Oh, Ignatius Park. Full of running in the first half. They come out blazing. They scored a point 3 minutes, similar to what they did in the first half.
Yeah, lovely little kick there from Mitch Brown. Sits up beautifully for jersey number 12, Isaiah Leedy, and that is a big start for Ignatius Park. They got a knock on out there again, trying to target St. Pat's Mackay as they brought that ball deep out of their own territory. They forced a knock on, and then from that knock on, they went across trying to get through that right edge of Mackay's defence. They couldn't. They came back to this side, so back to the right-hand side for Ignatius Park, and that is a really important try early on. We've still got 26 minutes to go, but as these points come up, the hill just gets steeper and steeper for St. Pat's Mackay to climb.
18-0 conversion to come, and this is a very important conversion. He gets that out to 20. They have to score 4 times to St. Pat's. We've seen 18-0 get run down before in a semi-final. I don't know whether we can find it in a Shield final. As you mentioned, Michael Crutcher, they were too strong in Bundaberg. Ignatius Park. Not an easy conversion here because the breeze is coming right into his face. Just needs to hit it hard and straight.
Yeah, this breeze will come across, and it's strong enough that it'll be a factor in the kick, and an important kick, and no one from Mackay is watching, from St. Pat's Mackay. They got their heads turned, and that manages to stay in, and an important 2 points, 20 points to nil.
Yeah, just snuck inside the right-hand upright, but that's all it needs to do here. Nice little kick here, fortuitous bounce here. Not much you can do about that. Just charging on presence of mind. He knew it was coming there, did Isaiah Leedy. Followed the chase. And it sat up nicely, did the Steeden. As it generally does for some reason, that second or third bounce just pops up. So a high kick. It's going to land on the try line. No, it's going to be taken just in the in goal. The suggestion that actually might have been a foot on the dead ball line, and that suggestion is coming from the St. Pat's faithful.
From the 5,000 here.
Yeah, had nothing to, couldn't sway the two touch judges. He was very close. See Henry Tiatau. First carry, half a break there coming from Jack Wood. Marcus need to be on song here. 15 short of halfway. Tiatau. Standing in the tackles, Tiatau. 3 defenders, one of those is his opposite and Levi Love. They come to this blind side. Try scorer comes for a run now is Leedy, and Leedy's going to run into the shoulder there of Kai Simon. And there's a penalty way over here.
Back chat. Oh, that's a back chat penalty, and they're heartbreakers for coaches when you're down by 20 points.
I was just saying that to Simon Gillies in the previous game. What's the number one coach killer? It has to be the back chat.
And the players know this is a carnival that prides itself on the spirit of confraternity.
Here goes Matthew Hunter. Hunter gives it off now to Joe. Joe goes over and scores here. Elijah Joe puts 4 points on the board. How important is that back chat? That's cost them the game, perhaps.
Oh, that's a killer. Look at that beautiful little show and sprint through. And again, they're pushing up for each other. Elijah Joe pushes up. They didn't need the big men on that occasion. It was a smaller men, and they got through, and that is a killer. Play was going on this right-hand side here. The referee heard from over his shoulder a comment, and I was mentioning the spirit of confraternity. The carnival prides itself on the way that these teams play against each other. 6 games during the week for each team to play, but it's played in such a good spirit, and the players left in no doubt whatsoever. If you backchat the referee, you will be penalised. And so we see such few penalties for it during the week in many ways because the carnival is played in such great spirits. But this is a big occasion. There's 5,000 people here. St. Pat's Mackay haven't won or been in a final since 2003, so you understand that there is tension there, and it's boiled over.
So Denian got the conversion earlier. 24-0. Gets this one. That means they'll need to score 5 times now, St. Pat's, and not concede any points. And they need to score 28 points in 22 minutes.
Some heads down on the Mackay bench. You can understand why. This is, as we said, there's a conversion is successful. We've mentioned a blue and white wall. They just keep coming at you, Ignatius Park College, and you can't seem to get through. As again, we see that replay. Just a lovely little bit of speed there. 2 of the smaller men on the field combining in Matthew Hunter and Elijah Joe for an important 4-pointer. So,
yeah, both of those small players went through forwards.
Yeah,
there's four forwards there, and look, the little man will outdance a big man any day, and that's exactly what happened there. And that's 26-0 now, so it's all for St. Pat's to do. So they won't give up, and the crowd won't let them, and they won't let each other down here. But sometimes just need some luck. And Jack Petit.
And probably from an Ignatius Park viewpoint, again, the ability to rest some of these players and bring the bench on. Henry Tiatau back on the bench having a rest now. So these bodies just keep coming. The bench isn't small, John. I don't want to feed the bench. I'm going to pay their grocery bill. So
gets the offload, and he's going to hang on to it in the end there is Tiki Mini. Then he loses it. It's going to be St. Pat's, and there's the sideline, and they're going to get the ball back here. So it's going to... Maybe they'll go with and they will go with a knock on there from Tiki Mini.
Yeah,
That'll
they
be
get
a scrum feed to St Pat's.
And we don't want to sound like the most obvious people ever, but the fight back has to start now for St Pat's Mackay. 20 minutes left on the clock. It's
Well, it's time for the Bailey Anderson, Kai Simon, Bo Jones, Will Shears and Kobe Arthur show to turn up. They need these outside backs who've got certainly plenty of talents, plenty of pace. And if they can get it to these players and try and do what Matthew Hunter did, and that was, or Elijah Joe and Matthew Hunter, was weave between the forwards to lead to that try moments ago. 20 minutes remaining. They go to the blind side. There's no way through there, but they need to complete a set. Matthew Watts is back out in the park here, and Watts will take that 25 out, centre of BB Prince Stadium here in Mackay. Duff and dummy half here is Carrish. Gives it off to a ball carrier. Carrish is a dummy half. It's the last tackle here now for St Pat's. What can they do? Cross-field kick. Flies high, gets it. Still the last, still trying to keep it going. Going backwards and going forward. He gets close to the line. You hear the crowd trying to will him across the park there. Bailey Anderson, unfortunately, he flew high, but didn't get across the line. So now they need to defend.
You can almost hear the crowd almost trying to blow him over. Take a big deep breath and blow him over. But a bit of enterprise for St Pat's Mackay. Again, the Iggy Park defence up to it. Now,
well,
here
here's
we
a
go
good
again.
defence here from St Pat's. They're pushing back to 2 metres.
And good to see the referee not calling held there. I think sometimes, as many has dropped it.
Look out, still alive here as he goes back in the field of play now. There's Kobe Arthur. I'd be calling for Kobe Arthur to get involved, along with Will Shears. 5 out from the try line. Crowd's screaming for a penalty. They've got 6 more to go here. Matthew Watts is there as he roll over. No, he's been denied. He's just short. We'll get up and play it. Carrish at dummy half. They fire it out. They've got a multitude of players out here at St. Pat's. They go for a catch and pass option. Anderson for the corner. And Bailey Anderson puts 4 points on the board. Could this be the comeback St. Pat's are screaming to put on the board?
We said, John, the comeback had to start now. And we've got a forward pass, have we picked up here?
Oh, no.
I tell you, there's 5,000 very unhappy people. If that is forward, I can't see why that was ruled forward.
If it was the one to the 2, it wasn't, unless it was a pass beforehand.
And
bamboozled.
It's lucky the big screen here didn't show any replay, but look at the effort here from the St. Pat's Mackay guys. You saw them behind the posts after that last try. They were huddled together, obviously trying to talk about digging in here and getting some back for their team, and they've got real energy here. And another good tackle on Jamal Shibasaki, who keeps taking the ball up the middle, but that was Liam Doherty who scored a fantastic try in yesterday's semi-final. So plenty of energy here. There's a knock-on for St. Pat's Mackay. They've just got to hope that they can get down the other end and score. They're getting some opportunities here. Steve Lansley, the coach of Ignatius Park, even after they had barreled through day 1 and 2, really dominating teams, he said he was unhappy because they were defending their mistakes too much. So he said even though their defensive line remained intact for all but 1 try across 4 games, he said we're defending our mistakes too much. So that's something he'll be keen to eradicate in these last 17 minutes.
Ben Kerwick is the replacement player there for St. Pat's. That's the 30-metre line. They'll suggest they might have got robbed. It's with Watts, and Watts steps off the left, gets to the 20. Numbers out to the left and to the right. They come this way. Shears runs in the arms of Nicky Brown and penalty.
It could be. Yeah, we got clarification. The last try was denied for obstruction. So running around the back there. It's a call we've seen a bit in this carnival. Some obstruction plays. So not a forward pass, it was an obstruction.
It must be something back play. I thought maybe a forward pass and back play, but it's obviously an obstruction. So, well, they're not going to take the 2. They're going to throw Galletti at the line, and Galletti's been flipped on his back. Tackle there, Raider Vetter. Watts goes sideways. Easy target is Watts. If he goes sideways, his strength is going forwards. Whip to the ground here, 9 short of the try line. Thorpe. Out the back they come. It's broken passing and running. Offload, and there it's going to come up, and there is Jack Clark. Will Shears turned the ball back inside. Sharp was, or Clark I should say, was expecting him to just take the tackle. And he got an unexpected offload there. So that'll be a scrum feed here to Ignatius Park on the
it's a
12-metre mark.
We've seen and we've mentioned today that sometimes the second halves of some of these games have broken down a bit with some mistakes. And look, we shouldn't be surprised as we see. It was Ray Zal and Pearson, the try scorer in yesterday's semi-final. But we've seen some of these games have a high error count in the second half. But these guys, they're playing carnival footy. They're not fresh. They haven't been sitting around for 2 weeks waiting to play. Game number 6 since Monday. So this will be a test of their ability to stay locked in and support their mates and try and do the little things right.
Well, they've already played 30 minutes, longer than they played all carnival, and now they're out here and they're into the 45-minute mark of this game. Last tackle, says the referee. Kick up the top here. They have a bit of a look at each other. Flies high. There's Kobe Arthur. Penalty for being taken out in the air. Time off.
To see that replay there, they chased through Ignatius Park.
Calling a player out.
Yes,
replay.
Call out here.
Well, he wasn't taken out in the air. Here's for a shoulder charge against the number 12.
And when you have a crowd of 5,000, you can make your feelings known about different decisions. And the crowd certainly, if they had a whistle each.
Yes, it will sound like the netball's been played over the back here. So a shoulder charge penalty. As a restart on the 40 for St. Patrick. And you can hear the crowd willing a try. I think they realise it's possibly, I'm pretty sure it's not a win, but I'm sure they would just love to see that naught removed from the scoreboard. Clark is the dummy half. That's Galletti. They lose the foot in a one-on-one strip. So they won't get 4 points from this set.
No, and good field position for Iggy Park to come back down the field as well.
Joe dragged across the 40.
We spoke before the game just about the number of times that Ignatius Park has won the Confraternity Shield. 5 times out of the last 9 years. They are the dominant modern team in a competition that did belong to St. Pat's Mackay in the 1980s and early 90s when they won 5 straight. St. Brendan's Yeppoon, they're still record holders with 13 Shield wins over a little time, but we're seeing at the moment a real dominant patch from Ignatius Park.
And none of these players would have played in Bundaberg either, so they've reset with a great squad.
That's right, well, just 2 players for Ignatius Park played last year.
Yeah.
So they rested heavily on the Year 12s last year. They were like St. Pat's Mackay. They were unbeaten through their pool games, and the carnival was called off at lunchtime Tuesday. They hopped back on the bus and they drove through the night as well. Just had to go about 400 kilometres further than the St. Pat's Mackay guys did. So, you know, a lot of teams, as we see a penalty for offside, a lot of teams came away from Iona last year saying we thought we had a massive chance. And I think I've probably spoken to 4 or 5 coaches who thought that they were genuine hopes of winning, and who knows, because a lot of the players from last year have gone on to leave school. Yep. You'll never know. But this was the first chance that we got to see, you know, some teams say, well, last year was cancelled. What happens with this year? Ignatius Park so far with 12 minutes to go are showing that, you know, their claims that they thought they were hard done by last year are hard to argue with.
And the silver lining out of all that, Michael Crutcher, is we didn't have any form from the players that have come to this confraternity, because none of them were fronted up in Bundaberg. Some did last year. But as you said, halfway through day 2, it was all shut down. We had a little bit of an inkling, but you're right, it was a shame. But today we've got a final.
And these teams have only played 2 matches each in the Aaron Payne Cup, but anyone who follows the Aaron Payne Cup knew, as we see, are knocked forward in the mistake-riddled second half. Anyone who watches the Aaron Payne Cup would have seen Ignatius Park in game 1 about a month ago score late to draw with Kerwin. Obviously Kerwin is a powerhouse of rugby league in Queensland, and that draw was only made possible by Henry Tiatow, the number 8, 115 kilo wrecking ball, scoring a try you would see in an under-6s game when he just took the ball and just said, I'm going to score a try, and did. So the form of Ignatius Park has been pretty explosive. There he goes now. He's got 4 men trying to bring him down. They do, but that's what that Iggy Park team does. They've got options across the field.
So Ignatius Park, 11 minutes remaining, on their way to a Confraternity Shield win. And the crowd of 5,000 willing St. Pat's to score a 4-pointer somehow, but you can rest assured. That's a great grab there at Tiki Meaney. Tiki Meaney stands him up, goes over, and oh, he's got some wheels, Tiki Meaney. And he'll put the finger in the air there and score underneath the black dot, and they will be cock-a-hoop here. Ignatius Park, they roll on this juggernaut.
How about this ball here? This is just a lovely pass. Could not have been floated any more, and you just do not want to show Teki Mini the sideline. He is probably the quickest player at Confro. We've seen him scored some great long-range tries here. If he's got a sliver of sideline, he will take it. And he's done that time and again in the last few days. He scored a cracking 80-metre try on day 1. And with pace like that, that's what I mean. They're not afraid to shift the ball, Ignatius Park. And when they do, you've got to make sure you've got yourself set in defence.
You can see the St. Brendan's, some of the green and gold players behind the uprights there on your right of screen. They would have seen him go past and went, yep.
Well, he played well against them yesterday in what was a really tight game. This is 30-0 today with a kick to come. Yesterday was 12-6. And a game that was in the balance until the last minute, because St. Brendan's actually had a full set on the Ignatius Park line, and they knocked the ball on about the 3rd tackle. So again, we're not saying that Ignatius Park is a team that's 30-0 better than teams at Confro. We know it's not like that in this game. It has been so far, but St. Brendan's yesterday it really rattled Ignatius Park. And
yep. Actually, in saying that, Michael, I don't think St. Brendan's did St. Pat's any favours by doing that to Ignatius Park, because I think you're right, Lindsay. The coach, Stephen Lansley, would have said, right, I'm not going to let that happen again, are we, boys?
Well, they only scored 1 try, Ignatius Park, after the first 2 minutes of that game. They scored early, and so there were plenty of things they could work on for today, and boy, they've come together. And
You'll convert this one, will Brody Deneen. He's been good with his conversion. I think he might have only missed the 1, so 32 points to 0. 8 minutes remaining here for the Carnival of 2022.
Mitch Brown with that beautiful ball. It was so well weighted. That's what you get playing footy regularly with different guys. You know the combinations. You know your man's going to be there if you're going to throw a cutout pass like that.
And here he comes. The bowling ball knocks over a few 10-pins, but no, they throw him on his back. Tiatow. Well, that might be his mate Jermaine Stanley. Yeah. Now it's Tiatow. That's the 30-metre line just in front. Tackler is Kane Smith. Haven't given up defensively here of St. Pat's. Careful. That might have been a penalty. That was a dart from the 14 and Rhodes. Big shot there put on Elijah Joe. Blindside play. Good pass here. It was a cutout ball in the end. Nice on the tackler. Didn't like it either, did Jack Pryor. Here's a kick. Waiting for it is Van Kirk, and Van Kirk will take the tackle. That's gutsy. You heard the thundering hooves there of Tiki Meni.
They were coming.
They were coming, and here come the shots.
Before this match, St. Pat's Mackay had made 9 Confraternity Shield finals in its history and lost only 1.
Yeah.
So they brought an 8-1 final record into this match today. And of course, the anticipation. This has been such a good carnival, so well organised.
Yeah.
The St. Pat's Mackay faithful turned out yesterday, 3,000 or so to watch the girls, the historic first girls final won by Marymount College, defeating St. Pat's Mackay, but they're here in numbers again today.
It's the last, puts it in the air, a little bit of heat coming in on the kicker. That's going to be taken to the back there by Joe. He'll get up and play it, run it, a bit of a goose step on the 10, a bit of showmanship there from the number 1. And Kane Smith affects the tackle with some help from Xavier Carish.
Yeah, Carish, one of those many Mackay players, St. Pat's Mackay players who have got NRL deals already. He was in the Queensland 18s Emerging Origin squad, also in that same squad with Jamal Shibasaki from Ignatius Park, but he is linked with the Cowboys, as a number of these St. Pat's Mackay guys are. So some of these guys will go on to really high levels of footy, there's no doubt about that. Others won't, that's the nature of schoolboy footy, but whatever happens, they'll always have this day playing a Shield final in front of 5,000 people. St. Pat's Mackay home final, they can always remember that.
At the BB Prince Stadium, where NRL games have been also played here. So St. Pat's, 5.5 to go. Still that naught on the scoreboard they want to see the back of. Watts.
I think Ignatius Park would very much want to keep that 0 on the scoreboard. That's something they do talk about a lot at that school. Let's defend our line. They did it, as we said in the last Shield final, 34-0 against TCC. As Kerrish darts away.
20 out was Bo Jones beforehand. That's Watts in the middle now. Looking for an underball. Puts a kick into the corner. It's going to be caught. 7 tackle restart on the 20. A misguided kick. Joe. Jinking run. Almost gets to the 30. They work on Joe. He's going to get up. He's got to be have the dirtiest jersey for a back.
He has been
Elijah Joe.
The Ignatius Park College bus is packed. All the bags are in the bus as a penalty comes here to give them a attacking chance and play a stop. But the Ignatius Park College bus is packed, and after the presentations, they're on the road home tonight. So heading back to Townsville after this, and they'll be heading there, as we see Jermaine Stanley on replay, they'll be heading there with the jubilation of winning the Confraternity Shield and becoming the first team since 2015 to defend their title. The last team to do so was St. Brendan's Yeppoon, won in 2014 and 2015. The Shield has changed hands every year since, up until now. Ignatius Park College with their 6th win in the last 10 Shields.
Xavier Carish, spoken to by the referee. I think there's a little bit of niggle getting into the rucks there. He wants that rubbed out. Don't finish it off on a bad note, boys. Is probably the message. 4 minutes still remaining here for the game. The final, the Shield final. Here he goes now, and that's big Jermaine Stanley. He scored a try in the 21st minute. He'll get up 21 metres out from the try line. A dart from dummy half goes Rhodes, and Rhodes almost gets through Rhodes. A desperation defence from St. Pat's denies him from crossing underneath the crossbar. Numbered to the left and right. They go to the big hands of Stanley. Knock on over the back here. He's offside.
Penalty there for offside.
And that will be the last opportunity, you would think, for St. Pat's to get down the other end.
So Diesel Jacobson Rhodes looks a lot like Thomas Chester, who was in the Ignatius Park team, and now one of those players who's gone on from playing for Ignatius Park, now part of the Cowboys training squad and playing Host Plus Cup with Townsville Blackhawks. So again, we've mentioned there's probably around about 13 players here who have NRL deals, but there's a bunch that don't also. Yeah. And you know, there's been a whole bunch of NRL people here over the last few days. The Brisbane Broncos here yesterday. The Broncos are fantastic supporters of the Confraternity Shield, have always got behind this carnival. It's got a great history at the club. I mentioned Wendell Saylor as a former player of the carnival, Corey Oates, a St. Brendan's player. So the Broncos always supported so well, and they were here keeping an eye on things, as were some other NRL clubs.
Watts steps off the right, Watts, and gets some metres. There's a fresh legs out there in Bulgarelli. Carry earlier on, give him a mention. This now was Will Shears, and Will Shears gives it off to Jones, and they're going to try and get in the corner. They don't want their line crossed here to Ignatius Park. Last tackle now here for St. Pat's. 2 minutes to go on the clock. Crossfield kick here. Needs a... Oh, it's going to be taken straight down the throat of Brodie Dunian. And they'll work it out. 2 minutes remaining. Tikimini, quick play the ball. They come down the blind side. It's with Danini again. The sideline's lurking. Trying to get him across was Kobe Arthur, but he stayed in the field of play.
But with these backs, they're just lining up here to help their forwards get this ball out of their own half.
They want some more points. Ignatius Park, good defence there from Desi Jones. Is going to deny that. They do kick early. All three are back. It's going to sit up here for Kobe Arthur. So 70 seconds remain in the carnival. St. Pat's looking for a way to get across the try line for the first time. And it'll be the only time in this game if they do so.
We're coming to the last minute of this carnival, John, and it's been such a wonderful week. Full credit to all the schools involved as St. Pat's look for a late run.
Brave Tate.
But there's no doubt here that the best team has won this Confraternity Shield. Ignatius Park College have just been the best team all week. We've seen it yesterday getting through St. Brendan's in an epic semi-final, and we've seen it here today really playing well against a good team in St. Pat's Mackay.
Matthew Watts, no stranger to the try line, trying his hardest to get through there, but unfortunately Jermaine Stanley's in his way. Last tackle here for Carish. What does he do? They go to the right-hand side, puts a grubber kick in here. Nobody knew about it. Diffused at the back there by Elijah Joe. And that will be the last chance, you would think, for St. Pat's to get across the try line. They work it out here now, do Ignatius Park, I should say. Ignatius Park still putting in the big shots here of St. Pat's. So that's a good one. They're coming from Desi Jones. The knee goes sideways. That's the 10-metre line. Full time, ladies and gentlemen, and it's been the Ignatius Park College Carnival. They've won this game comprehensively. They've kept their try line intact, and they've run away winners. 32 points to nil over St. Patrick's College here at Mackay. Michael Crutcher, well, they're too big, too strong, and too good.
Yeah, full credit to Ignatius Park College, to Coach Steve Lansley. They planned this meticulously on the field. They had the team there. Like we said, most of these guys, all but three of them, played in the successful 2020 Cowboys Challenge team. They've come through the ranks together. You can see the combinations out there. They've got the size, they've got the speed, and they thoroughly deserve that win. They've been very, very good all week. It just goes to show Iona College at one stage won the second half against them 4-0 in the quarter-final game. So a great patch of play from Iona, given that the rest of it from Ignatius Park has been so good. Full credit to St. Pat's Mackay. They're back in the final. They haven't been in the final for 19 years, and the school will take a lot out of that. That was important to them to go and get back into that decider where they've been so many times. They've done it. There's a lot of good players in this St. Pat's Mackay team who I'm sure we'll hear their names again. 10 of them have got NRL links. So again, a great display of football, John. It's just pure enjoyment, this schoolboy footy. High skill level, and in the end, it's not rep footy, it's school footy. They play with their mates. Many of them they've been to school with for 13 years. Yeah. They come out here and they can share these memories forever.
I'm glad you're standing next to me, Michael Crutch, because I thought that was you down on the sideline there in the parrot suit there. But anyway, listen, Michael Crutch, we're going to wrap up because the presentation's about to come. Congratulations on Union Committee for a wonderful carnival. We go to Runcorn next year for St. Laurie's, who will host the 2023 Confraternity Carnival, and these sides will come back next year. St. Pat's will come back bigger, better. Ignatius Park have set the bar. The rest of the colleges have got to step up and try and bring them down here. I'm sure they'll give their very best and red-hot crack next year. And thank you for your time here today, mate, and your expertise and everything you brought to the call. Has been absolutely enlightening, and thanks for your time, mate.
Well done to you, John. It's been an epic week for you. It's been well done, Red Corner, to you. We've been able to bring this game to people everywhere around Queensland and beyond, so well done to you all.
All right, we'll wrap it up here. 32 points to nil here. The presentation is coming up. Stay tuned for that. And we, on behalf of myself, John Devine, Michael Crutcher, and all the commentators have helped us out here, to Brendan and to Tyler next door here for production, and all the camera crew here from Red Corner to bring you the live pictures across 4 days, 168 games. We bid you farewell. Safe travel home to everyone, and we'll see you in 2023. Stay tuned here for the presentation.